And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at the Princess Bride adventure book game. Now, The Princess Bride, as you may know, is objectively one of the greatest movies ever made, and if you say otherwise, then turn off this video. Now, but I will say this, if you don't like the Princess Bride movie, I doubt you'll like this game, because this game is bringing that movie to life. This is a cooperative game where players are essentially playing through the movie, using a deck of cards, trying to keep the grandson from getting bored with the movie book, because if they do so, they lose. So you need to make sure the events in this story happen the same way they're supposed to. Here's how it plays. In this game, players are going to be playing through chapters of a story, and each chapter follows some of the same basic ideas, but also has rules specific to that chapter. To finish a chapter, you're going to have to complete some challenges, and usually there's one challenge at the end that you can only complete after you've accomplished the other ones. To complete these challenges, players are going to have to discard cards, and there is a basic deck of cards: adventure, revenge, love, intrigue, and courage. And players will be drawing these cards in their turn, and so you'll need to be, for example, there needs to be 2 or fewer chore counters on the map. So Buttercup's going to be dropping chores for Wesley to do all over the map, and Wesley's going to have to be picking them up and doing those. And if he pulls that off, and if Wesley and Buttercup are in the same space, the player can discard 1 love card. You get to draw a card from the special deck, and this one's finished. Here you need to have them both in the barn and play 2 love cards and a courage card. And then Wesley goes off to seek fortune. Now, that's the easy part, right? That's the good thing that you're doing. There's a special deck of cards here that you can draw these, and these give you special abilities. They might even have a wild one here. This card can be used as any type of story card, and when you're done with these cards, they get discarded to the pile of your normal cards. So this deck will get better as the game goes by. Now, after a player has decided what they're going to do, though, not everything is good. On a player's turn, they're going to be able to move somebody 2 spaces. They can move 2 different characters 1 space each, or 2 characters 1 character 2 spaces. You can also discard cards from your hand, and for each card you discard, you can move characters more. Then you can complete a storytelling challenge if you need, or something else here. For example, you want to move Wesley on top of chores, and it's turn to get these chores off the board. Then you'll draw 2 cards from the story deck, and if it runs out, you reshuffle it. But then we have the plot, and this is the bad thing. There's a deck here of cards that are numbered from 1 to 20, and these are the grandfather telling the story to the boy, and you'll turn over one of these cards, and you'll follow whatever it says here in the plot table. So fetch me that picture, move Buttercup to Wesley's space, then draw and reveal another plot card. Now, as you go through the story, the second half, where you're escaping by sea, drawing from this plot table will move the Man in Black ship closer into catching them. Meanwhile, they have to, you as a team have to move the ship here, have Vizzini and do some poetry here, have her jump off board, Buttercup jump off board for the Shrieking Eels, and etc. And then up here, the Cliffs of Insanity, the Fire Swamp. It will take a miracle, and have fun storming the castle. You'll notice that the challenges grow greater as time goes by. Now, at a certain point, a chapter can be interrupted. Something bad can happen. Like maybe they get married here in this one. Whenever you get interrupted, you're going to flip this card over and restart the chapter. You get to keep pretty much everything you've gotten. You'll reshuffle and set things up again. If you fail again, then you've lost the game. Now, the rules themselves don't say that you can go back and start the same chapter again. I think you could, but each chapter, I would say, is maybe 20 minutes or so. So you could go back to the beginning and start again just to get some more cards. The first one, like I said, is just him going around doing chores. Then we have you escaping with a ship. Here, the man in black is chasing, trying not to have Prince Humperdinck catch up. Here you have to accomplish a bunch of things in the fire swamp and get out of it. Then here you need to essentially get in, have Fezzik revive Inigo, and where's the man in black, go to Miracle Max, and then here, have fun storming the castle. You kill my father, prepare to die. So there's a lot of little tokens here that are going to be included in the game, but each game is going to play out kind of following the same pattern. Component-wise, you have these little miniatures here, and I think Fezzik's my favorite. He's so much bigger, and when you see him here next to Vizzini, I really enjoyed that. They're all different colors here, and then, like I said, there's a pile of tokens. These tokens will be used for various things. I'm a real big fan of the artwork for this. These are like a suit of cards here. They're really well done. I like the art in this game. The card quality could be a little bit better. But man, I love the art. It's not just stills from the movie. And then the whole thing revolves around this storybook, which I don't know how well this storybook will hold up to repeated play, but it stays pretty flat. Chapter 1 is the only one that kind of goes up a little bit. After that, it lays nice and flat. Again, I like the artwork. The rules aren't difficult. So the component quality here is not the best in the world, but art-wise, everything else, I was very happy with it. Now, like I said at the beginning, I'm a big fan of The Princess Bride, and there's been many, 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 many Princess Bride games that have come out, and most of the time they just take one scene, mostly, is it the wine in front of me or the wine in front of you scene, or, my name is Inigo Montoya, you killed my father, prepared to die, whatever. This is the whole movie. This is a cooperative game, and I think it's a really well done one. It's not tremendously difficult. It's right where it should be. I played this with my kids. We had a great time. We talked back and forth. We go through it. You go through each chapter. The chapters get exciting. The first chapter is a little bit mundane, I think. So is the first scenes in the movie. And then it gets exciting. And there's the shrieking eels and the ship chasing you. And it's just, there's luck in that 20 deck card. And sometimes I think luck can get you. But the game's replay nature works pretty well because, if you mess up a scenario, you get another shot at it. And if luck was bad, it likely isn't going to be bad twice in a row. Now, is it on rails? Sort of. Like, each game isn't going to be tremendously different. You are playing through them. Now, how you go about them, in what order you complete them, how the special cards work, I think there's enough back and forth that this is not a one time you play through it. I also don't think it has extreme long longevity because of that. It's not like a cooperative game where, wow, I remember how this game was different than the others. There's a lot of games out there where you kind of go through, but it does feel like it's a little more open to bounce back and forth and decide what to do than other games have done recently. Now, I know for sure that I'm a little biased because of my high enjoyment of this. There have been a lot of games that have come out. We saw earlier this year Back to the Future. We've seen John McClane, all kinds of things. And I really like these because you can bring this game to somebody who doesn't play many games and they can get into it. And this one, everything, the cards, the artwork, it all, this movie is in this game. If there's something you loved about the movie, it's probably here. And that's just great. I like it. If you're a fan of the movie, you'll like the game. If you're a fan of cooperative games, I think you'll enjoy it. It works really well for the family. And like I said, even though you do play through the movie, it does give you the idea of replayability. It also has a pause feature, which might work because if you think that the game might get too long, like I said, it's about 20 minutes per chapter, maybe a little bit longer than that. So playing through 6 chapters could be a lengthy game, but you could play through 3 one day and play through 3 the next. Either way, I like it a lot. That's Princess Bride Adventure Book Game. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment, as you wish. Approved.